I just wanted to give a really brief sneak peek about a feature that we're working on that's going to be inherited properties from containers and domains. And it's something that's in development. I'm really curious to get feedback from the community. So I want to just quickly talk about it and let me know what you think. And if you're watching this as a recording, you can still let us know what you think. It doesn't have to be in real time. So if you're just, this is some other moment in time, come into the DataHub Slack channel and give us your thoughts. So a few town halls ago, we introduced this concept of domains and containers. And these are entities that are collections of other entities. Domains are collections in terms of the organization of it's really about collecting entities along organizational lines. So, what teams or departments or subject matters these data sets fit into. And containers are about organizing your data sets in terms of how they're physically stored. So what database or project or schema that entity lives within. And so what we're working on is displaying these types of properties like description, tags, terms, and owners that came from either the domain or the container that a data set's within on the datasets page itself. So here you can see in a mock, this is a description being inherited from a domain, tags being inherited from the database or the schema that they reside within, and owners being inherited as well. So, what you might often see is that for a given schema or database or domain, some of these properties are universal and you don't want to have to go and apply them everywhere. In terms of the technicals, the way this would be implemented is a virtual inheritance. So instead of actually writing this tag or writing this description to all the entities within the domain or the container, we would just pull it in on read time and merge along with context these properties from their parents. What we'd love to hear from you folks is, do you feel like this is going to, as it stands, does this make sense? Would this be overwhelming? Is this kind of the type of information you would expect to see on a dataset page? Does it, feel intuitive? We're also curious about the cases in which you would imagine this inheritance being pulled in. For example, we're showing this on the dataset page. Would you also imagine this inheritance being pulled in on search? Would you always want these properties to be inherited or only certain properties? Does it depend on whether you have already applied tags or not? So what cases, I guess, would it be intuitive for this inheritance to happen? And what cases do you feel like it wouldn't be intuitive? We're also really curious to hear about that. Yeah, so I know we're time crunched, so I can kind of wrap up there, but interested to hear feedback from the community.
Yeah, thanks so much, Gabe. And this is one, I know that there's a handful of folks, I think actually on this call that folks have specific use cases for this. And Edward, I think you're asking what's the best channel. I think for this one, where do we think, Gabe? Is it maybe UI?
Yeah, we can do UI. Sounds good.
Yeah. So go ahead and post your feedback there. And then Gabe, let's also drop a screenshot of it because I think it's the detail of it. Let's make sure that folks can really understand the detail of how that would be rendered. All right.
Absolutely.